What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Today we're going to be looking over the stock AMD, so let's get right into it so we don't waste your time. All right, so first things first, AMD for the past week really hasn't been doing so hot, as you know as well as I do. If you keep up to date on AMD, it's been selling off pretty good. All right, so what we're looking at right now is the weekly chart, okay? The weekly chart, we're moving into a bearish week. That's a no-brainer. You can see this big candle, that's the week. It's pretty bearish. So just from this weekly chart, what we're watching for is a bounce level on AMD right around a little bit over 26, basically where I put that arrow. Let me zoom in. Okay. What we're looking for is a bounce this week on AMD right around this 26 level or the previous week, right there. At the body candle of the previous week, that's where you're going to probably want to start looking for a bounce on AMD. There might be some bullish moves intraday before it gets to that level, but ideally that is a prime spot to be looking at, maybe a potential one-day swing, intraday play long on AMD is at the low of this body candle for last week right there. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart, you can see we broke through the 9 moving average, which is okay because AMD did that last time. After this big spike move, we came down, broke the 9, and we actually bounced off the 20 moving average. So it appears that AMD likes to respect that 20 moving average from what we can see. So we're going to try and see if AMD gives us another bounce off of this 20 moving average level. But what we're doing right now is we're gap filling on AMD. You remember the other day, AMD went through a big gap up. Right now we're filling that gap. So remember when I said that 26 level was probably a good area right above 26? That's the level I'm referring to, right there. That's that level, okay? So now if we go and look at a 5-day chart, it's going to become more evident, okay? See the 26 level here when we broke out and went on this massive rip? This right here is that gap that we were just referring to on the chart. That gap I showed you, that's the gap. That big after hours pre-market jump is the gap. We broke down and we're starting to fill that gap to the downside. And why we're looking at that 26 level as a buy is because over here is where all the buyers stepped in and launched this up. So if you know there's a lot of buyers that came in here, then this area should be where the buyers are still located for support. Exactly. Now you're getting it. So what we're doing this week is we're following AMD, see if we get a little bit more continuation to the downside, and then you're probably going to want to start looking at for a long bias trade as we start to approach into this 26 level right below 27. That is really the demand zone. We can call this where the demand is, right, for buyers. Now, if you buy in this zone, doesn't mean it's going to go in your favor right away, but we know buyers are located here, all right? So now we're going to take a step back, look at maybe like a 20-day chart, all right? So you can see where we pushed up, curled, boom. That is the support right there, right in that zone, okay? And if things go as planned, which usually they never do, but if they were to go as planned, that moving average, the 20 moving average, depending on how tomorrow acts, the next couple days, this moving average might in turn end up somewhere around that 26 level where the gap fill would be, and we should start seeing a bounce. So if you like AMD, you're a fan of AMD, you could be looking at a nice long play here. Not dramatically big, but there should be some type of bullish movement coming either tomorrow or in the next couple days as we finish filling that gap. You could probably expect a little bit of a bounce coming here soon on AMD. As we've already had this nice sell-off, the gap is almost filled. If there's any retail traders in here, any short positions, we should be looking at some of them starting to cover up soon, cause a little bit of a curl and a small little pop. So I hope you guys like the analysis there on AMD. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. Please share this if you can, like it if you can, and subscribe if you already haven't. With that being said, thank you guys once again, and I will see you guys on the next video.